Hey, what's going on, guys? We are in here with Duke, coming 4-year-old, AQHA, gelding, and he came in, I don't know, a few days ago. This is going to be our first day working with him. He is a really sweet horse. His main issue is that, one, he came in for starting, so that's kind of where we're going with this horse, but two, his primary issue, and this really is no fault to the owners, they just, you know, don't quite know any better. They have kept him essentially alone his entire life. So when I say alone, he is stalled next to another horse, but he never has interacted, to the best of my knowledge, at least on a consistent basis with other horses. And if for those of you out there who start horses for a living, or maybe just been around them for a while, that's a really big deal, because those horses in their herd environment are one of the primary factors that teach him how to behave, right? It's just like us being raised without parents. You know, we're not going to learn what to do, what not to do, when to run, when not to run, and this horse has that issue. So in my eyes, this horse is a little bit of the kid that's been allowed to do what he wants to do his whole life, and not a lot of boundaries. And again, I will digress for a moment. The owners have tried their best with this horse. He's not a bad horse by any means, but he just hasn't had enough boundaries really established with them through human or horse interaction. So that's a big deal. So one of the first things we did when we brought him here is we put him in with the herd, and you can see he's got a few little nips on him, but he needs that, right? Because he pushes his boundaries with other horses, and he needs them to tell him off, to say, hey, that's unacceptable. So he needs a little bit of that with a human as well. I will just be totally transparent with you guys, and you know, I'm trying to make a lot of these horsemanship, roping, all the videos as little edited as possible, and you guys can see those rub marks on his nose. When they brought the horse here, I asked him to back out of the trailer. The owner's got I believe a hurt leg, and had a boot on and needed me to back him out. And I got in there, and you know, these guys, again, great owners, but you know, they've been, I think, a little bit misguided at some points, and they were watching some Clinton Anderson videos, which you know, to each their own, but he sells these halters, I guess, with you know, buttons on the nose, and this horse was giving us a really hard time backing out of the trailer, again, because he was saying, you know what, if I don't want to listen to you, I ain't gonna listen to you. So long story short, me just being totally transparent with you guys, I was bumping his nose a little bit, and those buttons were rubbing the hair off his nose, and shame on me. I've never done that to a horse in my life. So, but yeah, case in point, I'm not a huge fan of those halters. Just a standard rope halter is gonna be the way to go, guys. But today, what we're going to do, like I said, is just work on establishing these boundaries with this horse. He really needs to understand when to come to us, when to move away from us, to respect our space, to float with us, right? When I walk at you, you back up. When I ask you to come in, you come in. And understanding that, you know, there is guidance in this world that's for the better for you. It's not just, you know, you get to run around and do whatever you want, and if you feel like letting me on your back, then we'll do that. That's not what we're after. What I'm after is saying, hey, I'm going to ask some things out of you in your life, and they are all going to be for your betterment. I'm teaching you to function in a society that hopefully will value horses, and I'm teaching you how to be a horse that people are going to value. I'm also teaching this horse and want them to understand that I'm never going to ask anything that's going to put you in danger or hurt you. I might ask things that are hard of you and difficult, but we're developing these animals, and I'm never going to put you in a position that is going to be dangerous. So case in point here, I digress a little bit, but We have got the Horseman out today, boys. If you haven't checked out the new rope shop, bktackbox.com, we carry these. These are very, very soft nylon ropes. They've got metal Hondas on them. These things are smoking for roping horses. That is the only thing we use these ropes for. That's how we market them, is horse roping ropes. And this one is brand new. I threw it on the dummy for like 30 minutes. And this will be the first horse we've roped with this rope, so get to see it in action, guys. But I'm gonna rope this horse and let this horse kind of feel this. I want to see how he responds. I want to see him respect and yield to the ass, right? So when I put pressure on this rope, I want him to give to it. I want to see how he puts up with stuff like this. I don't necessarily care if he's afraid. I care if he's going to listen, right? That's really the main thing. Is I don't want this horse to be in the mindset of, I'll do it when I want to do it, you know? I want him to be in the mindset of, when he gets asked something, oh yeah, I'd do that. It's a good deal for me. So I'm just gonna swing. I'm gonna get used to this here. Again, this will be the first throw with this brand new Horseman. But man, it's a really, really nice feeling rope right out of the box, guys. Let him feel this on him. Go back over the butt there. Go around those hocks. Gave there. What do you say, buddy? Ask him to give. This horse has been ran around a lot in his life. He's had people, at least from what the owners told me, people that have come to work with him that just have him run circles in a round pen. And that's what I don't want to do. I want this horse to think instead of move, instead of react. And that's a big deal. Right, we're essentially trying to build new processing centers in this horse's brain. So that's why we've got that tail right there. Or I'm sorry, that rope right there. I like that we're under the tail. We're gonna come out from under the tail. Go around the hip. Oh, missed her. Let him feel this. Go back over, around the hocks. So obviously I'm not asking him to move. He's making that choice, right? Eventually this horse will understand we're not asking that. So that's quite a bit better. Like I said, this horse has got some nicks on him from being in the herd, and this is honestly awesome. It's what this horse needs, obviously to a degree. We're never gonna put him with horses that, you know, there are some horses that'll like pin him in a corner and keep getting after him. Yeah, he's not kept with any horse like that. But you know, he needs to be told off. When he keeps nipping at another horse or rubbing on him and they tell him off, that's what he needs. I'm gonna help him understand he doesn't need to keep moving. What do you say, brother? What if I swing this? So this is why this rope is so awesome, right? These metal Hondas, these Brannaman Hondas, been around for a while, but yeah, when we were trying to figure out what we were gonna market as our horse rope, obviously we need a metal Honda on it because of that. See how it's tight here? I'm gonna ask him to come in. Then I give it back and it loosens around his neck, right? You're never gonna choke a horse like that, or very, very difficult to. Right? Tight, loose. Tight, loose. So all I'm trying to say is, hey buddy, you stick with me. I need you to follow me, float with me. There are boundaries to this game. You know, in the nicest way to phrase this, I just want this horse to understand that he's not the big dog anymore. That's kind of the issue. Like I said, kind of the kid that maybe grew up without parents or without great guidance and was allowed to pick on other kids and never had any consequences. We've all got stories when we were young, right? We maybe got a little bit big for our britches, and you know, when you're a teenager, a young teenager, you think you're the hot shot and you know it all, and then you get put in your place somehow or another. So like he's backing up with me now. You guys can't see that, but if you don't see his head go in front of my head, I'll look back. Very nice. So again, this is our first day working with this horse, and just gave him some time to settle in, let kind of the other horses in the herd teach him a little bit. Hi, brother. But there you go. Now it's our turn to step in and start giving a little guidance. So go ahead and throw this again here. Oh, missed that one. It's all right. Good for this horse to get used to this swinging. Say, big dog. So I don't want this horse to run until he gets caught, right? I want this horse to just stand when I swing, when I catch, and then when I ask, he follows, right? So like, I didn't ask him to move there. I could see how he misinterpreted that. So I'm gonna be understanding of that. I'm just gonna say, dude, you don't need to move. When I ask you to move, I'll ask you. So this would be me asking. Good. This would be me saying back up. So guys, I hope you appreciate videos like this. I know I'm gonna get comments. I always get random comments that are negative, or maybe from people who don't quite understand, but this is what real horse training looks like. I like to think I'm pretty dang fair with the horse. I mean, I've spent the majority of my life trying to be introspective, and I apply that to horses. And rather than blaming the horse, trying to make them do better, I'm always thinking about how I can do better. Thank you. So I'm releasing my pressure when he takes a good step, right? In the beginning, it's any step, right? So I'm gonna say back up. Good. Oh, back up. Good. Come here, brother. Back up. Good. Forward. So this is what I mean about him following me, right? Good. Hip. Don't block me. Hip. Thank you, buddy. No one's mad at you. You're doing really good. This horse, I think, gets in the mindset that we're pissed off a little bit. He thinks that people are getting mad at him or looking for a fight because he's in the mindset of, oh, I do what I want always. And if I'm not doing what I want and you're stopping me, you're trying to fight me, right? You're trying to fight me to not do it. And I'm going to fight you and tell you why I should do it, right? And I got to get this horse out of that mindset. I want him in the mindset of when we ask something, oh, yes, sir. Yeah, I know it's always good when you ask me stuff. Not a big deal. Hey, buddy. Good boy. Good boy, brother. Good boy. Oh, you're doing awesome, brother. You're doing awesome. Good job. Good job, Duke. Hi. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna rope feet today. I don't want to overdo it with him. It's already gonna be a lot of new stuff for him. Really, I'm just gonna kind of keep swinging and throwing it, rebuilding maybe a little bit, throwing it, rebuilding it. Just because I don't want that reaction. Because now he's kind of checked in. He was checked out in the beginning, not paying attention to me. Now he's like, oh, this dude's after me. And I don't want that reaction. So the way that I help deter that, right, is creating as little energy as I can. So I'll face over here. Some nice slow swings. He's starting to settle. He feels that the pressure's not on him. And that's really what I'm looking for. And I don't want him to think that pressure is on him or think this rope is gonna do anything negative to him. I'm not looking for movement. I'm looking for understanding, for him to, for him to follow me, process the information I'm giving him, and again, just trying to help him settle a little more here. It's not my job just to catch him and get him good and help him relax. It's also my job to just keep them relaxed as much as we can, right? There's going to be a point with every horse that you've got to push them a little bit, but I try and keep them as low as possible in energy. You know, usually in the beginning, they're going to get themselves a little worked up, and that's okay. But just be cognizant, right, that you're not creating a lot of that. Whoops. Just missed that one. Let me settle a little more here. It's important for this horse to be able to elevate and come back down when he does elevate, right? It's scary when you get on a horse and once they elevate, they're gone, you know? There we go. A little better there. Good. So if you can tell, my movements have just slowed down quite a bit. Typically, if a horse goes high, I go really low. I don't like contributing to that elevation. I don't want to, you know, yell at them for getting excited, right? Being high strung, right? If you're scared of something, me screaming at you doesn't help. If you're a little nervous, me screaming doesn't help, right? All I want to do here is so he handled that throw really good, despite that not being a great throw. Which I'm really happy about there. You know, he's working himself up, but he needs to work through that a little bit. Try this back door here. Nice. So again, we'll see how quick he follows here. Very nice. What do you say, brother? How's this? Yeah. Yeah, look at that Honda just staying wide open. And that loop because of that Honda. So good. Where are you going? He's like, you tapped my nose. I didn't like that. It's all right, buddy. Yeah, we got a little bit of a ways to go with this dude, just because he's missing a lot of herd dynamic behavior, right? He's missing a lot of staying with you, respecting boundaries, understanding leadership. I don't know if you guys can feel it, but he just kind of has the feeling of like a pushy teenager, you know? There you go, buddy. Good job. Thank you. You keep backing up, it makes it a little harder, huh? I'm just gonna let that sit between his ears. And we'll flick it off the left ear. Bring him back in. So I always give it back. Tug, give it back, right? It's exactly how we're gonna ride in a halter, right? He doesn't want that rope going over his head. Nope. You stay facing me, buddy. Good. Good boy, brother. So we'll just stay right here under the chin for a little bit. Good. I just don't want any movement from it, right? So again, guys, I hope you appreciate the no editing in these videos. You get to see how much I miss. You get to see if the horse does anything that maybe some other people would edit out. And I give you guys the honest truth about each horse, about their background, right? What they might be missing. Good job, dude. Good job. Give you guys the honest truth about what they might be missing. My 2 cents. So one thing that's important to mention is he's letting me do that not because he's accepting of it, but because he got distracted, right? So everything is still on his terms to some degree, right? Some people may not pick up on that. I want him to be on our terms. For me to be able to say, hey, I'm asking you a question here, and it's a pretty fair question. Good job, dude. What do you say, buddy? Good. That was on our terms. That was also on our terms. And that. I want him to fall without me pulling. Thank you. So where we walk, I ask for a backup. Licks and chews, if you guys can hear him, I'll let you see. He's getting there. Go ahead and ask for this hip. Much more relaxed through that, if you guys could tell. Ask for this other side. Nice and slow. Need a deep, slow step. Good. Good job, brother. Got himself all worked up. Give him a little bath after this. Yeah, we've had so much rain these past few days. It's finally starting to dry up. But that's put off some of the work we've wanted to do with this guy. But it's good to give him a little bit of extra time to settle in. Let that herd do a lot of the work for us in the beginning. Teaching him how to behave to some degree. Hi, buddy. So I'm gonna ask for this chest to step over. All right, so he braces there. Very important to pay attention to this. Nope, still bracing. There. Let's try that again. I'm gonna ask for this hip. Good. Very nice. I'm not sure if anyone's ever really asked him that before. Looking and chewing. That's important, right? A lot of people when they're first getting going in horse training, you go out, watch some videos or learn from someone, and that's the first thing you see, right? It's disengage that hind. But you gotta be able to move perfect. Every component of the horse with your energy, right? With your body, rather than just the hip. The hip's very important, right? But that doesn't come from moving the head. That comes from your presence, right? That comes from creating disbalance or energy back here. There we go. So we're just unlocking that front end a little bit. He's just got a little bit of braciness there, which is totally understandable. Young horse that hasn't had to back off much, right? If a horse moves its chest, that means it's standing down from the fight, right? See his head go up, right? He gets upset that I'm pushing him around a little bit. Oh. What do you say, big dog? Hey, buddy. Yeah, no one's mad at you. You're doing really good. Make this a little bigger. Better. So I'm trying not to touch him, push on him, anything. I really just want my energy to do the moving here. Good. Now chest. Put my hand up. More pressure. Good. Good. Ask for this chest again. Very nice. Very nice. Happy with that. Side note about the rope, guys. Even after roping a horse, what, 3 or 4 times, this rope feels even better. You will not be disappointed if you guys order this. The Horseman, great horse roping rope. That's what it is for. I like them in 60 foots. I pretty much only throw 60-foot ropes. Scratch that, only do throw 60-foot ropes. Not pretty much. Hey, buddy. Yeah, these ropes are great for this stuff. We wanted to make sure we had a signature horse rope and rope because I rope horses so much. Thank you, buddy. Chest. Nice. Just the other way. Nice. Hip. So you guys can see all this movement doesn't come from me pulling their head. I don't even have his head, I have his neck. Comes from how you use your body and position of theirs. Right, it's developing that feeling with them. Good job. Good job, brother. So I think that's probably gonna do it for today, guys, with this horse. Again, this is Duke. He's I believe just turned 4-year-old or just coming 4-year-old, but he's doing good. He's here for starting, so we're gonna make sure he turns into a pretty nice horse. So hope that makes sense, guys. Again, just trying to establish a little bit of boundaries, fundamentals, and letting him learn to work in a herd dynamic, and letting him learn to work with humans safely and properly. So if you guys don't subscribe to the channel, go check it out. Click subscribe, click like, and we appreciate you guys watching as always. It means the world to us. If you guys have questions,